Greetings from the secret Everything is Stupid studios here in the People's Republic of Chicago, where it has rained so much this week, I'm starting to see animals walk around in pairs, heading towards this big wooden boat. It's been another crazy, stupid week. We have a lot to cover, so let's jump right in. I was hoping to start something with something other than Joe Biden this week, but he just can't seem to help himself. It's almost as if every week he works hard to be our featured story. And this week, old Joe didn't let us down. Bidenomics and the economy were in the news this week, with the producer price index coming in hotter than expected and consumer inflation significantly above the Fed's target rate of 2%. Americans are deeper in debt than ever. They're behind on debt payments, and they have spent their entire life savings in order to simply make ends meet. Heck, Kara, there's even a report that says 39% of Americans are skipping meals in order to pay their bills. Let that sink in, my Everything is Stupid Army. Nearly 40% of Americans are skipping meals in order to pay their bills. When reached for comment by the Everything is Stupid investigative team, President Biden said, "Oh, no. Come on, man. You got it all wrong. It's all part of my master plan. Higher prices mean Americans have to skip meals. Skipping meals mean that people will lose weight. I'm making Americans healthier with my fiscal policies. I am the health president." Speaking of inflation, Sleepy Joe continues to repeat the lie that inflation was at 9% when he took office, stating, "I think inflation has gone slightly up. It was 9% when I came in, and now it's down to about 3%. No, Joe. Inflation was at 1.4% when he took office and increased steadily for the next 17 months when it then reached just over 9%. Biden then added, "And by the way, the pay for jobs is outpacing the inflation rate that people are paying." No, Joe. Median wages have not kept up with inflation, according to the latest data published by the Bureau of Labor Statistics, a government agency that reports to you. White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre, the greatest press secretary in the history of press secretaries, was forced to step in and clarify the president's statements, claiming what the president meant to say is that he actually does not remember the first 17 months of his presidency. So in his reality, in his mind, inflation was at 9% on his first day, and he has tamed inflation, driving it down to 3.4%. She continued, "As far as wages go, if you can't make ends meet with your current job, get another job, you lazy pieces of scum. Go get a new college degree. Don't worry about the cost. Uncle Joe will have Uncle Sam pay for it." Okay, but KJP wasn't done embarrassing herself. The black, lesbian, real-life version of Sideshow Bob insists that young voters support Biden more than Trump. She said issues like climate change prove that the youngins love old Uncle Joe, despite a new poll showing him losing 18 to 29-year-olds to Trump. The same poll showed that Biden continues to lose ground to Trump with blacks and Latinos. Said KJP, "We recognize that the president is losing ground with minorities. That is why we keep allowing all them black and brown people to just walk across the border, and why we are registering them to vote. Vote for Joe and you get to stay in the country." Speaking of White House press secretaries, Ford and Biden spokesperson and alleged journalist Jen, "I'll have to circle back with you, Psaki," made news this week, being forced to edit her new book to reflect the truth. As you remember, Joe Biden was criticized for repeatedly looking at his watch during a transfer of remains ceremony at Dover Air Force Base in 2021. Per Circleback Psaki, this is misinformation pushed by the president's enemies to make him look bad to the American people. Nope, it isn't misinformation, as her book is contradicted by pictures from the Associated Press and statements from family members of the deceased who were at the ceremony. Psaki is editing these pages of her book to de-emphasize the focus on misinformation, claiming, "Hey, I tried, I did my job, I got caught. What are you going to do?" And for some unknown reason, the Biden campaign challenged former President Trump to 2 debates, one in June and one in September. There are some interesting rules for the debates demanded by the Biden campaign, which will make them unlike any other presidential debate in history. First, the debates will take place in private, no audience, just the candidates and the moderators. Liberal ones, I might add. Second, no third-party candidates are allowed. Sorry, RFK Jr. Third, candidates' microphones will be turned off after their time expires. Now, Kara, there were other rules that were proposed by the Trump campaign, but rejected by Biden and his team. Trump wanted both candidates to be drug tested before the debate to prove to America that old Joe can only perform when doped up. The Biden camp said no. Trump wanted to ensure that both candidates had to stand for the entire 2 hours of the debate. But since Biden usually falls down once every 45 minutes or so, he refused this request. Trump wanted a no adult diapers on stage rule, again, rejected by Biden.